Hello team, welcome back to our monthly update. Today is November 2nd and we will be doing the October update of what has happened in our projects. We'll hit all projects from Texas over to Arizona and briefly mention about our upcoming trip to Costa Rica. So to start, we will go down the list with Meadowview Estate, which is the Lockhart 54 deal we called it back in the day, which is really in Luling. So good news there, we are final plat approved. We have the lots ready to be sold for a total exit value of $3.3 million. And the good news is all those lots are, from what we understand, are already claimed by buyers. So we are good to go there. We do have 6.2 months of cash reserves in the bank, which is good. We look to exit this deal or begin to exit this deal in December going into Q1 of 2023. So I sent an email to all investors about exit planning and how we plan to pay out the distributions of those earnings. So good news there. That was about a 14-month deal overall. We had some pivots, as every deal does, through the process, and ended up being a little delayed on entitlements, but ultimately exited in a market that's rather tough at the moment. And we hit our numbers that we needed to. So good news there. I appreciate all the investors and all the partners involved in the process to make that one come to fruition. So going on to our other deal in Lockhart, Sea Willow Ranch, as it's called, which is the 89 acres in Lockhart. So if you recall, this one we took down in August of 2020. We've had a hiccup midway through on the sewer lines, which we took about 4 to 6 months to solve with the city. We did solve that with the city. They are coming to the table with some funding to help us cover the needs on the sewer. So just a few updates. A reminder, September 6th, we had the property annexed into the city. We had zoning approved on October 18th. We are on track to get the preliminary plat approved this week by Friday. And so we're looking for total entitlements, construction plans, the whole nine to be approved sometime in February, March. So we're looking at a 14-month to 16-month approval timeline on entitlements. We'll end up starting construction likely sometime in May, potentially June, depending on the delays, which means we'll have our first phase of lots being delivered in Q1 of 2024. That's how we're looking. And frankly, given the market, that's probably not a bad thing. And so we look to begin refinancing the current debt probably sometime in March, April, to get the construction financing in, begin that process. And again, phase one on the construction is probably going to take 8 to 10 months on the long end. So a little longer than expected. But what we've done, again, as a reminder on the concept, we initially were going to use part of the property for townhomes or multifamily. We're now just doing all straight lots. So what that means is of the entire tract, there's 424 lots. We have 124 not claimed by builders, but 300 that are claimed and contracts in place. And so we are working to exit those final 124 lots, which we think we'll be able to do, and go from there. So very exciting project. I think it's going to be one of the more flagship communities in Lockhart for the time being. We have great builders from Braun and Guillen and Century to come to the table and build some homes there. So looking forward to that. Moving on to Temple. Temple has been an absolute breeze to work with. Hats off to the city people there who really have a development hat on and understand how to promote pro-growth. That has been an absolute breeze to work with. And it's hard to find good land there, but we are looking to expand our operations in Temple. It's just because of how easy it's been to work with the city. They're phenomenal. One of the things that we realize as of late is the impact fees or connection fees for builders is less than $1,000 per meter. All right. Now, to put that in perspective, what we're seeing right now in the market is a general trend for these cities to increase these fees to connect to the water and sewer. Sometimes as much as 3 times the current rate. The highest one I've seen is in New Braunfels at $24,000 a meter to connect to water and sewer. In Seguin, we're looking at $11,000 per meter. Lockhart will eventually be in that $5,000 to $7,000 range per meter, as we are hearing. But so the point is, Temple being under $1,000 is phenomenal for the builders. That's a great way to increase growth in the community. So that's a good win. Our PD was submitted to the city and was approved on October 20th, so that's good news. We're looking at the preliminary plat to be approved tomorrow, on November 3rd. And we were roughly timing this one the same as Lockhart 89 or Sea Willow Ranch. So we'll have refinancing on the debt probably in March, April, construction and mobilization to take place in April, May, for construction to start in May, June, with that phase one lot delivery happening in Q1 of 2024. So great progress there. Total entitlement timeline, again, is in that 15-month range. So a little longer than we wanted by about 90 days. And our team's diligently working to tighten up those processes that have caused what we think is a delay. Moving on to Seguin 80, where we have 330 lots. Now, this deal we're proceeding with, there's quite a few delays on entitlements, mainly due to water access in the city. So this will be a late 2024 deal, 2025, when the lots come to fruition. But we're looking at 330 lots. My team is considering making this a build-to-rent community, at least on a part of it. So, but the good news is annexation and zoning has already been approved. So that's a step out of the way. We're now into the up to the preliminary plat and construction plans, which we have plenty of time to do. We are in the midst of finalizing investment funding on this, which should finalize this month. So we are full steam ahead on this project. Again, a little longer than expected. This is probably going to be an 18-month to 22-month entitlement timing. Not ideal, but a lot of that's due to the water issue in the city that they are remediating as we speak. Flagstaff 14, very excited about this deal. It is prime land, 3 minutes from the University of NAU. We got it for a great price. We are closing on the land in December. The beauty of it is we've been doing engineering and entitlements for the last 8 months. So we're really ahead of the game on this one. Our pro forma was looking at 60 luxury units. Think of it as 3-story, 2-car garage on the bottom floor, 1,800 square feet, give or take, on the top two, with the view on top of the unit. It is on top of a slope, so the topography is beautiful. Flagstaff is a gorgeous area if you haven't been. So we're looking good. We actually expect to get 80 to 87 units on this track. So great work to the engineering team, about a 40% increase in yield on units, and yet we're still maintaining the aesthetics of the land. So I'm very excited about this property. In talking to all the people on the ground, because there's essentially no inventory on the ground, they think these pre-sales will fly off the shelves, and we'll test that, at the end of 2023, which is going to be a tough time to test. So we'll see how the market is there in Flagstaff going forward. But we've spent, again, about 6 to 8 months already on the feasibility and engineering, and the project is looking very good. So more to come on that. One of our master communities, Lockhart 250, which is in the process of becoming Lockhart 800 as we JV with some landowners. This will be a master community, 10-year to 12-year project. We have phenomenal cost basis on that land. Right now, we're looking at about 1,000 lots, some schools, Montessoris, amphitheaters, commercial, medical offices. It's going to be a full-on master community. Again, 10, 12-year project, 10 phases overall. And so we are in the process of getting a discharge permit on that. Plans have been generally constructed. Again, we took this down in June, so we're looking to have full entitlements done by December of next year, 2023, going into maybe March, April 2024. So phase one lot delivery on this is probably early 2025. Again, we're coming out of the recession, hopefully by then, and we'll probably have 150 to 250 lots for phase one delivered, give or take. So more to come on that. Again, that, if you know Austin, Texas, that's right near the 130 and the 80 corridor near Cherryville. So really strong area for development, given that it's out of the city, it's all county. So very excited about that. Moving on to another master community that we're working on. So our Lockhart 89 deal, we are in the process of acquiring about another 800 acres around that area to build another master community for the city. Now, we're still in talks with the city, so nothing is solidified, but we have a number of other deals in that area. We have a 141-acre tract that will have a mixed use there. We have another 100-acre tract that the mayor is asking for us to make more of a luxury, so towards the later phase of the master community. But generally, we're building a pretty unique vision there, and our head engineer, Luke Caraway, is really driving a lot of that vision to make it essentially a walkable 1,000 acres across the entire community. So a lot of things to happen in Lockhart for us. We're focusing heavily on the Lockhart area. We've met with a lot of infrastructure partners, and we are following the water. And right now, the water is coming into the south corridor of Austin. Water is gold these days. You can't build and connect without water and sewer. And you need water to have sewer. So water is really gold these days, and a lot of the infrastructure that's coming is in the south part of Austin. And unfortunately, the west and the north are kind of tapped out on water. So we expect, and they expect, growth to happen in the south corridor equal to, if not faster than, that of what Round Rock had experienced, which is the north part of Austin. So again, very bullish on Lockhart. Generally, our cost basis on the land there is very attractive. We are in the process of restructuring some of the capital stack to ensure that we can have a viable project over 10 to 12 years. So more to come. We have a big meeting with the superintendent, the mayor, the commissioners, a variety of other big players in the city in about 2 weeks. So we'll know more then about what is to come, including a potential hospital, 2 to 3 schools in the community, and a variety of other big items that will change the dynamics of this community. So lastly, over the last 12 to 18 months, we've been pivoting into the hotel and accommodation space. Again, homes are goods, hotels are services. So 2 different parts of the economy. We're very bullish on the travel and leisure segment. We're seeing a lot of growth in our current resorts. So we have a new project in the Grand Canyon, which is where we have our other resort. That's taking off here in January. That one is closed for investors, but we'll be expanding that as part of our portfolio. And then next week, we're heading to Costa Rica to evaluate dilapidated hotels in 3 cities of the country to begin to expand into our 4-star sort of wellness accommodation portfolio. So very exciting things there. Again, generally, our team is very dialed in on these projects. We are improving our processes across the board. So any questions you have for these projects, we're happy to give details. Just give us an email at tom@redoakvc.com. We'll get you what you need. So until next month, again, any questions you have, give me a ping. We'll let you know. And we will actually be having a report sent out this month on the economic and essentially the economic engine of Lockhart and why we're so bullish on Lockhart. Our in-house economist from Penn is working on that as we speak. So we'll have that out to you all who want it and who are on our list. And if you're not on our list, go to the website under economic report, put your email, and you'll get the report, and we'll go from there. So thank you all, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.